Now, from one crazy concept right into another. Now, there's a recent website that I was told about. I never knew this existed until just maybe about a month or so ago. But there's a guy. His name is Michael Mencken. He's a retired Federal Aviation Administration technical writer and editor. And he has developed this helmet. It's a thought screen helmet that supposedly stops alien abductions. Now, I don't know, this is, okay, now we had, I guess sometime in the 90s there were some people in the UFO who were, followed UFOs and, were concerned about abductions, who said that aluminum foil, a tin foil hat would stop this, but that turned out not to be true. But it was made fun of course, in the early 2000s in that Mel Gibson movie Signs, where there was a scene. Forever, the tinfoil hat joke was born basically in that movie, where there was people sitting around wearing tinfoil hats in a couple of scenes to try to prevent aliens from controlling them telepathically, and it looked like a big joke. However, according to this person, now the funny thing is about this, it's not funny. What's interesting about it is that this guy is not trying to make any money on this. He's basically just telling you how to make one of these things, and it's using a product called Velostat. Right? Apparently, some kind of a substance that you could put inside of this soft hat. You can make it yourself at home, and apparently, it stops aliens from abducting humans. And I'll leave you the link for this website, because you got to see it to believe it. But at the same time, I mean, let's face it. I mean, if what we're talking about here is true, that there is an alien presence an extraterrestrial presence on Earth, which I do believe, and if they are trying to basically absorb humanity, and they're doing so using telepathic means, right, which seems to be the case, right? Well, if there's something out there that could help prevent these things from happening, well, I guess we have to look at all different options, and this might be one of the options. But it's an interesting website, to say the least. Anyway, I'm going to read some of this from this website. It says, the thought screen helmet stops space aliens from abducting humans. It's been used successfully by former abductees for 23 years. This public service nonprofit assembly website tells you how to make a thought screen helmet. If you were abducted by aliens, this helmet will work for you. How the thought screen helmet works. It is not a shield. After working with abductees for 23 years and persons with neurological problems for 19 years, I now believe that the thought screen helmet does not work as a shield. Rather, the helmet may stimulate another brain activity which stops alien telepathy from being processed internally. That is, it prevents the abductee's brain from converting alien telepathy into human thoughts. The aliens tried to figure out how the helmet works but couldn't. They've cut out pieces inside and outside the helmet, as well as taken 15 helmets and 3 Velostat line baseball caps from abductees. It's 2022 and the helmet works as well as it did in 1999. A record of success. The thought screen helmet has effectively stopped several types of aliens from abducting or controlling humans. Only one failure since 1998. Worldwide use. Adults and children all over America, all over Australia, in Canada, the United Kingdom, Ireland, India, Germany, Austria, France, Italy, Portugal, Spain, China, Ecuador, Brazil, Colombia, and in the Republic of South Africa are wearing thought screen helmets to stop alien abductions. Many former abductees have been wearing thought screen helmets successfully since 1999. And then the next subheading, only Velostat works. Other materials were tried in previous models with less success. Only thought screen helmets using Velostat are effective. Large leather aviator hats lined with Velostat with secure straps are recommended for making effective helmets, but any hat that covers your whole head and has 8 sheets of Velostat, part number 1706, will work. Linkstat has different conductive properties than Velostat, so it does not work as well. And he says the cost of the materials here is $45. And then if you click on another page here. He has an article here that he wrote called Telepathic War. And he talks basically about a war that's ongoing between aliens and human beings, and it's basically because of telepathy. And right now, Mencken saying this, and this is, of course, is what something that David Jacobs is saying too, that basically they have control over us via telepathy. They can control us. Anyway, I'm going to read some of this article here for you. It says, throughout the history of the human race, wars were fought with bigger and better weapons. Muskets replaced bows and arrows. Automatic rifles replaced single-action ones. Rockets replaced cannons. Aircraft carriers replaced battleships. Ballistic missiles replaced bombers. Jet interceptors replaced propeller-driven fighters. Weapons got more accurate, faster, with greater ranges of action and greater explosive power. In all of the wars until now, technology and numerical superiority determined victory. Superior technology, tactics, and numerical strength were the key elements in warfare. All wars fought until now were technology wars. Wars were technological superiority were decisive. We're going to skip through some of this. Since we are being invaded by an alien force from another world, we have a different kind of war. Our war with these beings is one of mind control, mind scan, and telepathic control, as reported by Bud Hopkins, David Jacobs, and Raymond Fowler. I call this type of conflict telepathic war to differentiate it from a technology war. A telepathic war uses telepathy as a weapon in addition to the machines of a technology war. Until now, the creatures abducting us could do so at will. They could switch off people or render them powerless, manipulate people's thoughts and cause them to move against their will, project mental images to us, masquerade as a friendly or sexually attractive human, and scan our entire minds. The thought screen helmet is our only defense in a telepathic war. I call this device a thought screen helmet because it prevents aliens from performing any kind of mental control over us. It blocks out all alien thought so humans can no longer be manipulated or controlled, and it prevents aliens from completing mental communication with us so people cannot be abducted. The term thought screen is derived from the science fiction novels of Edward Elmer Smith, otherwise known as Doc Smith. Smith had his characters use thought screens to block out telepathic control. Thought screens were used in his novels as a defense to telepathic war. With a working thought screen, fantasy has become reality. We can fight a telepathic war. And then there's another part here about alien weaknesses. It says reliance on telepathy. When the aliens' telepathic powers are neutralized by the thought screen helmet, they do not attempt to abduct their victims. Without their telepathic power, they cannot render their victims passive. So I guess that's very interesting. I'm not going to read this whole thing. There's a lot of stuff on this website that you could read if you want to check it out. I will leave the link there for you to check it out. Again, we were just talking before about aliens among us. Well, if they're among us, and put it this way: if at some point, right, if at some point these beings, the world finally realizes, the world finally wakes up to this hybridization program, and the whole everyone realizes that, oh yes, there's an extraterrestrial presence here and they're up to something. They're trying to take us over via this hybridization program, and everyone starts realizing it. People are going to be looking for something to protect themselves from it. And they might be everyone might start wearing one of these things. People might be stuffing Velostat into their hats, and so apparently, again, this guy talks, he has a bunch of different people on there. There's actually different people on there who say that it worked for them, right? That it helped them, and I'm going to look at some of that right here. We're going to read some of this. User reports, testimonials. Okay, so there's different people here that claim to have been abducted by aliens, and then they started using this, and it stopped. And according to Mencken, there was only one case that he's aware of where it failed, where this product failed. Now, he says the names of these people have been withheld for confidentiality, totally, to prevent harassment from skeptics. But anyway, here's a comment from somebody. I am just emailing to report that there has been no activity since wearing the helmet. Everything has been working amazingly. The cap does not make too suspicious or abnormal in public, and the helmet is easy to securely fasten on my head. Thank you for this freedom you have brought to my life. I guess, well, apparently this person must have stuffed it inside of a baseball cap, because if you're wearing one of these old flyer like leather, they did like the leather helmets from the World War I days, that would stick out. Obviously. And then here's another comment. It says, we, a husband and wife team, felt we did not need to include each day from the diary this time, since each entry is getting to be repetitive. We have been sleeping very well and have had no unusual experiences since the evaluation of the thought screen helmet. I must say we were a bit skeptical as to it working, but we looked at it in comparison to magnetic therapy that so many people have claimed works. Now many doctors are recommending magnets as part of a treatment for various things. By blocking or reflecting thought energy seems to be a most practical way of dealing with alien influences and in preventing abduction scenarios. Here's another comment. I am happy to report that the thought screen helmet has been performing beautifully. It's been over 6 months now and not one incident. Aside from some of the naive neighborhood kids and their taunting, it's been a blissful period. And of course, it's talking about the aliens, apparently. He talks about how some of them actually stole they stole, like, if you have one laying around in the house, they'll steal it from you. Like these, if you want to leave it laying around in the house, and you need to wear pretty. The only time if you're not wearing it 24/7, you're not. There'll be moments when you're not protected, but I don't see how anybody would want to wear it 24/7. But I guess it's, it doesn't work. Apparently, according to some abductees, the guy, again, this guy is not trying to make money. He's a former writer for the FAA, technical writer. I don't know. I just find it interesting. But does it really work? I don't know. I guess that only person who's getting abducted, who knows they're getting abducted by aliens on a regular basis, they're the only ones who pretty much will know. But this might become a very popular item in the future. Should the governments of the world finally come clean and tell everyone what's going on here.